Good afternoon, it's Easter Sunday and we're about to treat ourselves to a Souropod from Staggeringly Good Brewery. So it's a kettle sour and it is, I'm checking the fruits, papaya and lychee. So we'll show you the can in just a second. Pretty light green blue colour with some examples of the fruit that are in it on the side. It's a 440ml can, found it eventually on there, and it is 5.7% alcohol by volume. It's very cold because it's just come out of the fridge.
So, for anybody that joined us last time, we reviewed an Amundsen sour that time, which it'll be interesting to see how they compare. This one is definitely a vegan beer, as it's got no lactose, whereas the Amundsen definitely was a little bit softer and sweeter, down to the lactose, we think.
And the ingredients list on this one is really short. It's just water, barley, papayas, lychees, hops and yeast. As I said before, it's brewed by Staggeringly Good, who are based in Southsea near Portsmouth. And they're quite young, aren't they, Colin?
Yeah, these guys have only been around for about 5 or 6 years. They do tend to focus on quite simple beers and also very strong fruity beers, as well as some IPAs.
They've got a definite obsession with dinosaurs, to the point now where when I see a beer that is in some way associated with a dinosaur, I assume it's a staggeringly good one. I'm not always right there. I got tricked by Neon Raptor recently, which was nothing to do with them. We've had a few of their beers before.
I think we've had 2 or 3 sours, a stout, and one of their wreckers, which we've probably put up on Instagram recently, which again was very, very fruit heavy.
Oh yeah, we have. That is on Instagram. Burst Blueberry Wrecker. That was amazing. It did taste more like a smoothie than a beer, so go into it knowing that, but really, really glad we got 6 of those. And when we got the 6, we took the advantage of picking up a few others, including this Souropod. We had tried one of the other Souropods previously, which we'd enjoyed, so we're hopeful that this one will also be good.
Yeah, I think we first sort of stumbled across them with one of our early left field orders, and I think the beer in there was a saison, which was a little bit different. I think that's what we were looking for at the time, just a sort of a variation on our usual stouts and IPAs, and it came across very well.
Yeah, Prize Fighter of Hell's Creek, and weirdly it reminded me of a Kir Royale, and I like a Kir Royale, so that's got to be good in a beer.
Yeah, I think it was probably down to the champagne and the aronia berry mixture.
Now that was really good, so hopefully this one lives up to that. Hopefully it's as good as the Amundsen we had last time round. We're going to pour it and we'll find out. So as I said before, 440ml, 5.7%.
And there's our very short ingredients list.
And a dinosaur. Always a dinosaur.
Yeah. As I said, I think the 3 founders, reading about them briefly on their website, definitely 3 guys obsessed with dinosaurs. Okay, let's open it up.
That's got a real head on it. It's got a good centimetre.
Absolutely. And quite light as well in colour.
And I can hear it fizzing here, so it's got a fair bit of carbonation. Wow, that really is fizzing. And there's a load, and I mean a load of sediment.
Yeah, we've got a lot of fruit in there, I think. Quite a chunky beer. Okay, so the head has gone a little bit there fairly quickly. As you said, very carbonated, and it's quite cloudy now. I think it's probably due to the fruit that's escaped from the can as well.
We'll see what it tastes like. That is really light at the bottom. I think it might be just where the sediment is, because as I said, there was so much sediment that came out of the can.
Yeah.
But that is, yeah, all of it's a lot lighter than I expected. It's kind of a peachy colour almost, rather than sort of that more vibrant orange that I'd anticipated. How's it smell?
I think there's not a lot of aroma coming off of it yet. But if I'm honest, like papaya and lychee are not fruits that I'm particularly familiar with how they actually do smell.
No,
So.
I think lychees are orange, and I don't even know what colour papayas are.
No, I don't either.
So, it smells fruity. It smells really nice, but yeah, tropical fruits. That's about as good as you're going to get from me. Not sure we're cut out for beer reviews.
Sorry, you say tropical fruits, but I'm not really getting very much at all from it. If it is there, it is very subtle.
And I'm certainly not getting any sort of anything big and in your face like you might do with mango, but
no, not at all. It's really strange. With all the fruit that they sort of emphasised being part of the process.
there is a bit of, I think there's a bit of sherbet as well.
Yeah, now you say that, I can agree.
So the Amundsen one tasted of flumps. This one smells like those tubes of sherbet that you get with a stick of licorice that you dip inside it. Anybody that's not British may not get that reference. I suspect that was quite a unusual childhood sweet.
Not a fan of licorice, so I don't get it much either.
Should we give it a go?
I think we should.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, that's sour.
Yeah, that definitely lives up to its name.
Yeah.
That's a world of difference from our most recent sour from Amundsen, as we said.
I'm going to need another mouthful to decide if I like it or not.
Yeah, quite tart, should we say. We're now getting it's like liquid sherbet.
Yeah, that's fair. It really does hit you though. It is lightly carbonated. That's definitely sort of, there's a bit of a fizz to it as well, which I think helps with it's like sherbet side of it. And it probably tastes of papaya and lychees.
Well, I was going to say it's really hard to put your finger on the actual fruit flavour that you're getting there.
And as we said before, it just doesn't help that I can't really tell you what they taste like. I know lychees are sweet, and this, so maybe that's what's stopping it being like super pucker your mouth kind of tart. So it might be the lychees that are doing that, but
And that could be.
I don't dislike it. I feel I should dislike it because normally I find that sort of sours can be too sour, and that sounds awful, but sours can be too sour. But there's something that's just stopping it being completely over that edge.
I think as well that your palate's adjusting to it a little bit after a couple of mouthfuls.
Yeah.
And it does, of course, depend on what you've had before.
Yeah, I could feel my face almost screwing up with the first sip of it, and I don't think that's happening now, so that's positive. And so what have I had most recently? A cup of tea, a cup of Earl Grey. So not entirely sure how the two go together. Oh, and a blueberry muffin before that.
And there was the muffin, which was very sweet, so that's probably
Not
overemphasising the bitterness here as well.
If you can't have a muffin on Easter Day, when can you? I think that probably should be chocolate, not muffins, but we haven't started the Easter chocolate yet.
But it certainly is something. It's a taste and a drink that grows on you quite quickly.
Do you like it?
Because similarly, when I first tasted it, it was a real hit, very, very sharp. But a couple of mouthfuls on, I find it's sort of settled down a bit, and it's nice. Yeah, I do like it.
I don't dislike it, but I'll happily sort of finish the glass, and I think that'll be me quite content. Whereas for the Amundsen yesterday, it's like, okay, we can buy that again. Whereas this is more like, yeah, it's nice. I've enjoyed it. I don't know, have we got any more of this?
We don't have another one of this, no. It was just something we wanted to try, because purely, I think, for the unusual fruit in it.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I think it's the sort where if we did have another one of it, I might be saying to you, do you want that one? And I'll have the entirety of this one for maybe one of those blueberry wreckers.
I'll probably trade you off on that one.
Hypothetical trade, given that's the only can of this. But it's nice to try, and
yeah, and very interesting to do that comparison, as we fairly recently had that Amundsen sour, which was not really a sour from what I'm used to, but this certainly is.
Yeah, they're absolutely worlds apart, and they really were. I mean, that one yesterday was sweet, and I like sweet, so that's going down really well.
It is, isn't it? Look at that. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I do have about half a pound of fruit in the bottom of it as well.
To make a decision what to do when you get to that bit. It's sunny today, and I think that it's the right weather for the drink.
Yeah, it's a lot warmer outside. But, so I'm appreciating this a lot more than on a cold, dark day.
Yeah, it matches it nicely. It's really it's definitely got an aftertaste to it. It's not an unpleasant one, but you know, I haven't taken a sip for a while, and I can really still sort of feel it on the tongue.
Yeah, that's the sherbet, I think, or that perceived sherbet.
It's certainly a similar effect to sherbet.
So the fruit itself is quite soft, but it is incredibly sharp in the brewing and the kettling process, or it's been made that way.
How do you make a kettle sour? Do you know? Do you literally just shove a load of fruit in and hope for the best?
You know, I don't know the actual process. We might have to look that up.
If you know, or better yet, if you can point us towards a video, leave a link in the comments and we'll find out.
Yeah, would be interested to find out.
That does remind me though, because Staggeringly Good, obviously, brewery down in Southsea, and they definitely have a tap room down there, don't they? And I think they do brewery tours in normal non-COVID time.
Yeah, I've certainly seen that and had an invitation from them in the past.
Yeah, so maybe in a year's time or so, maybe that's something we'll head down and do. Could be nice. Well, we've spent the weekend in Southsea before, haven't we?
Yeah,
that was a good place to stay, so that could well be a good one. But I've definitely seen on the website the tap room's opening up again when they're able to, because they're taking bookings at the moment. So I suppose if you do live down that way, you like Staggeringly Good, or you like sours, IPAs, etc., keep an eye out for that one.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll head towards a rating now. I'll go first because I'm going to give it a 3. So you know, it's definitely above average. And if there was, you know, if we were out, we were in a pub, and it would sort of probably be one of the ones that I would lean towards getting, just because I know I would quite enjoy it. But equally, next time we do a Staggeringly Good order, I'm probably going to be up for trying a few others instead.
Well, I would certainly try it again if I saw it. And strangely, I'll give it the same score as I gave the Amundsen, a 3.5. Very different tastes, quite different beers really, but in the same style. But for me, quite equally enjoyable.
Because I gave the Amundsen a 3.5 on the video, but the more I've been thinking about it since, the more I'm inching up towards a 4. It's stayed with me. I liked it, and I've discovered that it didn't cost as much as I thought it did, so it was pretty good value for money.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us. We're gonna finish these off on our own, so we shall see you soon. In the meantime, keep well, and cheers.
Cheers.